I mean, there's also the idea right now that the culture, this is being symbolized in popular culture in various movies, in you know various forms of the media. We're given a chance to see examples of people coming together in movements, rising up and bringing about change. So perhaps these are rehearsals. Many of the movies that
Well, that's
portray
good. Let's
this.
keep them all as rehearsals then.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, if you think about the Star Wars trilogies and the saga, they the arc of it seems to be about one group of people rising up in freedom against what appears to be an oppressive regime, rather mechanical, soulless
Right,
perhaps, right? But it shows that the journey, it could be likened to the journey of the human spirit,
right,
which yearns to be free, right? Rather than under this domination factor. Right? So
right.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
interesting to think about how it's portrayed in media, in cinema as well.
yeah. I think science fiction allows for that discussion, because it's so out of this world, right? So anything can happen. So yeah, it's a great venue. I've always been a big fan of science fiction, and I've learned a lot from Star Treks and my, watching it as a little kid and eating my TV dinner and watching Startrek. I was like, wow, that was like it.
Oh, right,
But
right. That's a
little
great
did I
example.
know, little did I know that I was learning all about world domination and, you know, racism and all kinds of stuff. And
Oh, yeah,
that's the beauty of art in general, if you want to call it Star Trek an art form. I guess it is.
that's right.
It has millions of followers, and yeah. So beauty, the beauty of art is it teaches us in ways that we don't even realize that we're learning something very profound,
That's right.
right?
Yeah, and the artists themselves, in this case, like the actor, William Shatner, who could have predicted in his
Oh,
90s,
William Shatner.
he would be actually taken into space and given the chance to comment about that experience. And what he would come back and report was this kind of transformative effect, seeing
Oh,
the
yeah.
thin, fragile layer of the atmosphere and the planet against the dark coldness, which he perceived as, kind of death-like quality of space. What a fragile ecosystem we have and share here on
Oh,
Earth.
yeah.
Really profound that an actor could communicate that unscripted in a way that might be transformative for
Yeah.
others. Right?
Well, in learning in photography, there's one photograph that had changed the whole entire world. And that was the Blue Marble, the photograph. I think it was from Apollo 11 that turned the camera around and shot a picture of the Earth. And
Yes.
how transformative that one photograph has been. And I think people look at that photograph and they don't realize that before that, we've never even seen a picture of ourselves. And it's like, it's like the narcissism, right? Turn it on. Then we just fall in love with our own planet and our own projection of ourselves. And it's really, it's still when I look at that photograph, we have it hanging in the Department of Geosciences, and
Yes. Yeah.
I think they still teach that. I think I don't know. I mean, it's a poster that hangs on the wall, so it must
Sure.
have some sort of significance.
Sure.
And it might even just be a place where people contemplate, a little bit of silence and looks at the earth. And yeah, it's kind of cool, right?
No, I mean that's the larger identity that I think we're pointing to. It might be part of what Nancy Abram was pointing to, that moving beyond our ego identity, which typically is about self, is about family, about protecting status, protecting the status quo, moving from that to a planetary awareness and being able to see yourself in the context of many, many cultures, a diversity of peoples, all of us sort of in this stage right now. As a planet, we're in a relatively young stage as a civilization. You know, the planet, what, 3 to 4 billion years in the making, the universe
Yeah,
in a period of 13.7 billion years. We're relatively young as humans
yeah,
in that
yeah,
moment of evolution. But
yeah.
we're becoming. So you have to wonder, why is it then are we becoming aware? It's like moving out of our adolescence, moving out of our childhood. We see the effect of our way of living, which has been narcissistic, right? We see the effect it has had on the planet. Then now we perhaps have this window to choose differently. And that's what I'm kind of interested. That's what I think the Now of Change as a documentary might help people come to that moment where they realize the now is exactly the right moment in which to begin to make that change and begin to awaken to what's going on around us.